Things to note for unless. In this lecture, we're going to look at a few things that we have to note in terms of the meaning of unless, because some people find it a bit difficult to really pin down the meaning of this grammar. So let's have a look at the first thing. Unless is just like the phrase except if. In these two examples below, the meaning is exactly the same. I'm not working tomorrow unless the boss calls me. And I'm not working tomorrow except if the boss calls me. Unless is also similar to if not in some ways. Have a look at the examples below. The first one, I'm using unless. Unless the pay is low, I will accept the job. This is the same as saying, if the pay isn't low, I will accept the job. So you can very often replace unless with an if not structure. However, when the if not structure means something like because, you can't use unless. So in the example below, the if not structure is similar to because. Have a look. If it doesn't rain soon, I'll be very surprised. This meaning is, I'll be surprised because it didn't rain. So this meaning of if not is quite similar to because. Here, we shouldn't replace this with unless. So we cannot say, unless it rains soon, I'll be very surprised. So you can only replace an if not structure when the meaning isn't similar to because. Those are just a few pointers to get you closer to the meaning of unless. Now we're going to look at one more thing. It's how we can use unless in everyday conversation. As I mentioned in a previous lecture, we often use unless when we have an afterthought. An afterthought is when we think of something else after we've said something. Have a look at the first example. Come on, we're going to start training for the marathon today, remember? Unless you've changed your mind. Here the speaker is saying, come on, let's go and train for the marathon, like we said. Except if you've changed your mind. If you've changed your mind, we won't go and train. Have a look at the second example now. We can go to a rock concert on Saturday evening, unless you'd prefer something quieter. Here the person is making a plan for Saturday evening. He or she is saying, let's go to the rock concert, except if you would prefer a quieter activity. If you'd prefer a quieter activity, we can do that. I hope those things to note have helped you further clarify the meaning of unless. Now it's time to move on to the speaking and listening practice exercises. These will help you master unless.